Archer and the Devil.
A vent door. Anyway, it's a Lamborghini joke. You wouldn't get it if you're a peasant. But
what you essentially need to do is go ahead and put the alphabet in the fridge so you can chill the F out. My problem here is going to be that I haven't spoken about this out loud yet.
I mean, maybe you should have led with zero.
I probably should have led with zero.
That would have made more sense.
But I didn't want this conversation.
Welcome! Episode 35 of Archer and the Devil podcast with the Devil and Archer. Not Dillian Francis.
Not Dillian Francis.
Archer.
Or Khal Drogo.
Or Khal Drogo.
Though I still think one episode we should get them to sit in and do the podcast.
I'm down.
Just
week
get
off.
them to do it. Yeah, week off. See what they talk about.
Yeah.
See if they're any more interesting than we are.
I bet they're not.
I bet they're not.
And you better agree.
100%.
They won't be.
100%.
How are you?
I'm fucking swell.
What day is it? Sunday.
Tis Sunday or Wednesday if you're watching.
We was going to talk about the royal family.
Yes.
And the interview, but it doesn't come out
until tonight. So we're not going to talk about it because obviously you all know that I love the royal family. And I don't.
And he doesn't. So I want to talk about it, but we want to get the full experience
There's
first.
no point pre-gaming it.
No. So we'll talk about it next week. So tune in next week for
probably
a rather heated discussion
about the royal family.
There's already been a few clips, but we won't go into it now.
Yeah.
We will talk about it next week. So next week will be Royal Family Week.
Royal Family Week.
Royal Family Week.
Can we dress regally?
I think there's...
Can I wear a crown?
Yes, we can.
I can't get a crown with my headphones over a crown. That's the only problem.
I think there's going to be a lot of arguing next week.
The thing is, I'm ambivalent. I don't really care that much.
You do. When it's arguing with me, you do.
Oh, yeah.
But so we've got other things to talk about this week.
You do get excited. What you essentially need to do is go ahead and put the alphabet in the fridge so you can chill the F out.
Oh my God.
When you get that angry.
Welcome to 35.
Welcome
That's
to 35.
how it's going to go.
This is actually our 41st podcast in total.
With the guests?
And the Q&A.
Is
We've
it?
done 41 of them in total.
That's nearly a year's worth.
It is nearly a year's worth.
Nearly one a week.
And two of our friends are currently rowing across the Atlantic. They're not rowing currently.
They're currently getting towed back.
Johnny Ward, who travelled the world, every country in the world, and Pritchard from Dirty Sanchez.
Yep.
We've had them both on as guests before.
Yeah.
One virtually, one in the room. They're doing a thing called the Atlantic Dash, where they're rowing from Lanzarote to Antigua in
it's like 3,000 miles or something.
3,200 miles, I think.
It's like months of rowing.
45 days expected rowing, 2 hours on, 2 hours off.
When did they leave?
Yesterday. No, Saturday, I think.
Okay.
So yesterday.
And now they're on their way back.
Now they're on the way back.
Bad weather broke their boat.
Yeah.
And now the only form of transport, the only form of powering the boat is rowing. And the storm broke the bit that makes them able to row the boat.
Yeah. Something with the seat broke or
so
something.
they're getting towed back
to fix it,
to start again.
And they're already delayed anyway.
Yes.
So meant to leave in January, got delayed by COVID, then got delayed because the wrong part was on the boat.
But also, it's not something that people do every day, is it?
Yeah.
So there isn't really any rule book for it or any instruction manual. So good luck, boys.
Luck. Yeah. Well,
we want them to do it because we want them on the podcast to
talk about it afterwards. Yeah,
about
absolutely.
It, so.
And just because it's a rad thing to do.
And it's mental. But but I have a controversial thing to talk about that you're not probably going to like.
Okay, should we start with that?
And you have quite a wild topic that you want to talk about.
So what should we start with?
I mean, it's up to you. How do you want to do it?
Let's do mine first.
Okay.
I want to talk about time.
Holy shit.
I love time.
Right.
I love the topic of time.
We need a strap-in button on that.
We do need a strap-in button. My favourite podcast that we did was episode 5 when I talked about time travel and the calendars and stuff like that.
Yes.
That's still my favourite episode.
Okay.
And we haven't talked about time since episode 5, which was just under a year ago. And this weekend I watched Limitless.
Bradley Cooper. Good film.
Great film. I text you.
It is a good film.
When I was watching it, saying if Neuralink is like this, I am down.
Yep.
I have decided, I think, in the editing of it, in the weeks gone, I'm in.
Told you.
I'll be beta as well. I don't care at this point.
Told you.
Just put it in.
It's fucking next level shit.
I'm down.
It's quality.
But we talked about that extensively last week. So I watched Limitless, then I watched Lucy with Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Same kind of film.
I don't know if I've seen that. We were just talking about that a minute ago, but I can't. I think
it's got Morgan Freeman in it as well. It's the one where she's in Taiwan, and she has to give a suitcase to this guy who's a bad guy in Old Boy and Itchy the Killer and stuff like that. He's a Korean actor, I think, or something like that. The bag splits in. They put the bag inside of her,
right,
to illegally ship it to another country.
So she's a drugs mule.
Yeah,
yeah,
unwilling drugs mule.
Okay,
it splits inside of her and it fucks with her entirely. So it goes from in the movie, it goes into that myth of you can use 10% of your brain.
Yeah,
and she by the end of it can use 100%.
Right.
So it just shows what happens, but it's very sci-fi. She can float and her eyes change colour and
what?
hair. And yeah, you definitely haven't seen it.
No, I think I might need to watch it later.
But it's worth watching. So I watched that, and it got me thinking about time.
Okay.
One thing I did notice in the films, watching them, is in Limitless when he's getting smarter, he keeps going, "Oh, I'm smarter. I wonder why I'm smarter. Maybe it's the drugs." If you're smart, you don't need to question why you're getting smarter.
No, you know.
Well,
mostly because you're taking the new tablets.
Right, and one thing in a lot of films that made me think about afterwards is whenever people get smarter in films, they're always like, "Oh, what's this?"
It's not like you read a book and go, "Oh, I understand that now. How do I understand it?"
Right.
Oh, right, it's because I just read the fucking book.
I read the book, right. Yeah. And I feel like they're doing it almost as a narrative so you understand as a viewer what's happening. It's almost like
catering for the dumb.
Yeah, we're keeping you up to date on what's happening. But one thing I like about Lucy is when Lucy gets smarter, she's not going, "What's this? What's happening?" She's just, "Oh, I'm smart now."
Okay.
So this is where me smart is, and then she gets smarter, and it's just perpetuates from there. So time.
Wait. Everybody grab a coffee, strap in, settle down, have a sit down, and fucking listen. All right, lock it in. Lock it in.
Now,
let's go.
My problem here is going to be that I haven't spoken about this out loud yet.
It's a great opening line.
Because I know if
there's the first clip.
If I speak about this out loud, then when I come to recite it on the podcast, I'm going to try to remember what I said rather than the information. I'll draw from the memory of me explaining it to someone rather than the information.
Okay, maybe just say that line out again, just so we've got it clear.
Okay. So the reason I haven't said it out loud is because I will draw off the memory of me explaining it.
No, not that bit. Just so I haven't said this out loud before.
I haven't said this out loud.
Say it without laughing.
I can't help it now. It's there. So, and I was going to write it down, but the problem is with time, it's impractical to write it down. So I can
lost.
So I can only go off theory here.
I'm already lost.
But I have got notes because there are some things that are going to need explaining.
So certain bits of time you can write down, but other bits you can't.
Yes.
Okay.
Essentially.
Okay.
Stay with me.
Right.
I'm going to be all over the place, but we'll try and make it cohesive. So, time is something that was created after the Big Bang. So before the Big Bang, there was nothing because time didn't exist. So the Big Bang occurring is what created time. That time was deployed, and everything from that moment to now is just the measurement of the expansion of the universe.
So for religious people amongst us, this is before Christ.
That doesn't apply to you. This is before Christ.
And then
a couple of minutes before him.
This now applies after Christ.
Yeah.
Day 8, we're in.
Oh, right, yeah.
Okay.
Literally.
Yeah.
So, nothing, Big Bang, time happens and is happening, and that is why we're able to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Because if time didn't exist, then we'd all just be... That would be it.
Oh, okay.
Right, that would be it. I mean, it wouldn't be it. But anyway, the problem we have is that we use language to understand the theory of existence.
If I had Neuralink, would this be easier to understand?
Because I could just tell you what I think, and you'd get it like that.
Okay.
Right.
I'd be like, oh, yeah.
So, but with time, I think whenever I have conversations with people about time, there's always disputes. There's always, well, my theory of time is this, my theory of time is that. But we understand time based on that we break it down to a human term. You know what I mean? It's like if you were given directions to someone you've never been before, that's what it's like explaining time, because we only have a limited understanding of it.
Hours, minutes, seconds,
days,
months, that sort of thing.
It's our breakdown of it. So where did I write this? So, okay, I'll just go through each of them and explain them. So using language to understand reality is one thing we do with everything. And because we're only 2,000 years into, not 2,000 years, that's Jesus, but 4,000 years into science, essentially, then we only have 4,000 years to work off rather than all the other science that's going to come. So rather than saying we just don't know, we try and find rational explanations for it.
Science bitch.
Yep. Which is why there's always, new research shows, which is fine. because you have to have some basis of understanding, but it doesn't work in the grand scheme of things when you're trying to break it down into everyday existence. So there's people who think time is an illusion. Einstein was the first person to really kind of like perpetuate that, being time isn't real.
Anybody that knows me and you will know that we think time's an illusion.
Well, yeah, because we're always late. Always late.
Always late.
I am known for being late.
Yeah,
I was late today.
You was?
I always am. So the theory of existence is based on our understanding of it, based on the unique experience. So our measurement is human form. Everything is measured in how it affects us.
Yes, that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everything that we come to understand is how it's had an influence, how it's had an effect on our species, or especially the individual, rather than the universe, rather than matter, rather than energy, which is what the measurement should be. So time should be the measurement. So 1 + 1 equaling 2 shouldn't be our basis, because maths is something that we created. Maths exists without us, but it's something we created. Language especially only exists within us, because no other animals or anything that have known language like we do. And because we use language and mathematics as the principle of understanding rather than time, I feel like that's where we kind of fuck up a lot. You seem like you're staying with me here, so I appreciate that.
I mean, it's a good poker face. Right, yeah.
So creating a scale that is measurable, because we do not have the capacity to consider its unimaginable scale.
Whoa. Say it slower.
Okay, so we've created a scale
that
we can understand.
Yeah.
Because if we didn't have that scale, the greater scale is inconceivable.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? You know when you see those videos of like, this is our planet, and it goes out into bigger planets, and there comes a point where your brain just goes, I can't imagine that's the size of that. So everything's broken down and comparable chunks
to what we can understand.
To what we can understand as people. But because
which makes sense, because we're not going to be able to understand stuff that we can't understand.
Literally that.
So, yeah.
If you can't conceive it, then you can't understand it
Hence
properly.
why we have scientists and experts, because they have a better understanding of certain things, so they understand things better than what other people do.
Yeah, it's a way of breaking what you've been taught in terms of the limitations of your understanding and rethinking them. So if I said to you, I need to have a conversation with you, you said, is this going to take a while? And I said, 30 minutes. If you live to 100, 30 minutes isn't as long as if you only had an hour left to live.
Very true.
So if you change your perception of time and how it engages you as the user compared to everything.
Would that also apply depending on my level of understanding?
Yeah.
So if I understand it easier, it's going to take less time.
Yeah, because you haven't got to explain the principle of it behind it.
So it's not that clear cut.
Yeah. But it can be though, because it's just, but no, yeah, you're right, because you have to educate your way of thinking to the applied science behind it, and then you can explain it. Because if I explain it without you understanding the applied science behind it, you'll be like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So it's getting the basis first and then putting the knowledge on top of it. So there's that bit. Time is
fucking clever.
You are?
Carry on.
You hold the conversation well. So, time is the measurement of all existence. So without time, we do not exist. I think, I was saying that at the start. So from the deployment of the Big Bang is when everything is the expansion of the universe. Because there's a question of what happens when the universe starts expanding, which is where we come into the laws of thermodynamics.
Don't you think it's wild that you're explaining all this and our year of 2021 is based off Jesus Christ?
Yes, I know. Well, we talked about that. If you go back to episode 5.
That's fucking wild.
That when I've got the notes in this book.
Everybody says religion is bullshit, and everybody says religion should be banned, and it's nonsense, and it's a fake imaginary person. Our whole existence bases around the year God was born or the year God was died.
If you think of culture, I think culturally, I was having this conversation a couple of weeks ago with someone about how culturally Western worlds don't really have much culture, because most cultures are based on religion. And Western religions, especially Christianity, was very, the British especially going like a couple of hundred years ago were very, don't do this and it's not what God wants and blah, blah, blah. And you were almost taught to repress, which is why like other cultures, like, you know, when the World Cup comes on and there's countries which are so fucking colourful and music, and then there's the British and it's all just very white and red and yay, we scored. And that is a part of our culture which has been...
And then we apologise for celebrating.
Well, we don't. We go and trash other countries and go, England. But, okay, so there's 4 laws of thermodynamics. The first law is energy is always conserved. It cannot be created or destroyed. So all energy is transferable. You can't create energy. You can't destroy energy.
You just move it.
You're just moving it.
Yeah.
That's the first law. Second law is energies will always equilibrate and can only increase. So they can't decrease, and they'll try and balance out. So if you had a chamber of hot water and a chamber of cold water, this is the most used example, and then mix them together, eventually there'll be a singular temperature.
Yeah.
So that's the second law of thermodynamics. Helps if I can say it. The third is system's entropy approaches a constant value as its temperature approaches absolute zero. Entropy is the measurable physical property of disorder. So entropy is everything that's happening.
Right. I'm sure we've used that word before on the podcast.
Could you pull the same face? Entropy is... so the universe expanding, for example, is an example of entropy. That's what entropy is. It's when molecules dissipate. It's when, if I have a cigarette and the smoke goes out, everything in that sense is entropy. But entropy is just a measurement of disorder or randomness.
Okay. Which in itself is mental, because you're measuring randomness.
Yeah. Which is like, how can you measure randomness?
Yeah.
That's what entropy is.
But I suppose if you think about it, when you're smoking a cigarette, all you're doing is transferring the paper and the tobacco into smoke.
Right.
It's still there.
Burning.
It's just in a different form.
Yeah, it doesn't disappear.
No.
It's just exactly that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a zeroth law.
A what?
A zeroth.
I beg your pardon?
Zeroth law? I think that's what it's called.
Wouldn't it be the fourth?
No, it's not. It's the zeroth.
So you've got 1, 2, 3 and then zero.
Or you've got 0, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
So
I mean, maybe you should have led with zero.
I probably should have led with 0.
That would have made more sense.
But I didn't want this conversation out the gate. I thought at least if I dropped down the first 3...
Made it less confusing.
By the time we get to 0, you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, at least I got the first 3.
I didn't even know zeroth was a word.
If two systems are in thermal equilibrium...
Start again. So
the zeroth law...
I got that bit. I don't mean that bit.
If two systems
are
in thermal equilibrium with a third...
Right, so two on one.
Yeah.
2 girls, 1 cup.
Then
yeah.
They're all at equilibrium with each other.
Oh, so the cup's equal to the girls?
Yes.
I mean, kind of is.
All the girls are equal to the cups.
Without the cup, you've got no 2 girls, 1 cup.
That's true. Have you ever seen that video?
Fortunately,
I
yes.
haven't, thankfully. And then time is an emergent property. So, for example, if you took a film reel, so if you say Titanic, take one still, then that's not doing anything. Put all of them together, and that's where you can see the effect of time as an emergent property. So if you take, for example, a drop of water on the table that hasn't got a tide, put all the water together and it will create a tide, like in the ocean.
Okay.
So that's emergent. So that's enough for the notes for now.
Why is the thermodynamics relevant to time?
Because this is where we come into time travel, which is where...
Oh, fuck me.
where I initiated this.
Remember when I said strap in?
Strap in.
Get a second strap.
A second strap. That's a quote for the day.
Lock it in, kids. Lock it in. Time travel is about to begin.
So
I'm almost rapping. I'm rapping about time.
Do you like...
What?
I was going to say Eminem, but in a different way, and I couldn't think of it. I've got enough going on in my brain right now.
Come on.
So...
How did that first bit go for you, considering you're not saying anything out loud?
All right. I literally got a sweat on talking about it. I was like proper nervous about can't get this out.
You was heavy breathing and all sorts.
Was I?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Making it sexy for you as well. Okay.
And I'm fucking comparing it to porn. But okay, whatever.
It gets us there in the end, right? As does porn.
However you understand it, that's all I'm saying.
Examples are good. So, I was watching this film and thinking about time travel. And the fact that time travel hasn't happened, in theory, proves that time travel doesn't exist or cannot exist. Because if time travel was created in, say, 2054, we would now know the effects of it, unless your argument, which you said before, was time travel is only existent from the moment the time machine was created.
Yeah, okay.
That was what, in episode 5, when we talked about it, you were like...
That's what an expert said. Like, you couldn't... So if we tried to create time travel now, we couldn't travel back to World War II.
Yeah, because the machine didn't exist.
Because it didn't exist then, exactly.
Right, but assuming it wasn't a machine that was required to time travel, say it was, because there's like... This is your favourite part of the podcast now. There's 9 spatial dimensions and 1 temporal. So there's the 3 spatial that we know of are width, depth, and length, and the 1 temporal is time. But there's 6 other spatial dimensions that are all bound within each other. And if one of them was a temporal dimension, then you could time travel without a machine.
Right.
But we would know about it.
Yes.
Because it would have happened. There is no way in recorded history someone would not have time travel to one of those points. If anything, people would use it to get back more than they would just...
What if they went back but never come forward again?
Any effects there, you would know. You would just... I had this conversation, I texted a couple of mates about it, just kind of like, have some better understanding myself. Let's bounce this off people. One of them didn't reply for 24 hours.
He never messaged me, by the way.
Well, I was like, I'm going to have the conversation with you. And the other one said she was going to school me, and then sent me the first screenshot of a Google search. And I'm like, if that's your idea of schooling me.
Oh, okay.
No.
Right. Dumbass.
If someone went back and killed Hitler,
we would almost see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's easy to say, well, you wouldn't know because he's dead, but we can only exist in one timeline. It's like the Back to the Future thing, which is every time you change time, it creates an alternate timeline.
Yeah.
So unless it's happened and we're now on an alternate timeline, but every alternate timeline would still lead to the creation of the time machine because it still happened.
Yeah, so, because you went back in the first place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So every single timeline that happened, no matter how many you did, would always end up in time travel.
So you would inevitably go back and see that
time travel.
Changed.
Yeah. So it's impossible in that sense. What that does do, though, going into time as well, is there's 3 notions of time. The one that we're all taught and accepted is linear time, which is time moves along a line. Everything behind us is past, and everything ahead of you is future, and you exist on the dot.
Yeah,
and that's the one that we're just taught. We're not even taught. We're just told. This is what time is. There's presentism, which is only this moment is real. The past and future are conceptual.
Right.
So the only moment of reality is the moment you're in. And then there's eternalism, which is everything that has is...
Are these theories or are these...
Theories.
Right, okay.
Everything that has, is, and will happen, all happened in a singular moment, and we're just experiencing it in a linear way. So... I
mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Effectively, your present is already mapped out for you.
Everything is.
Your past has already happened.
Everything
so obviously,
is.
So realistically, it's only your future, if you think about it.
But even...
Because your future has already happened, so effectively your past has already happened. You just haven't experienced it
Right.
yet.
And I think the reason people try and challenge it is because they don't want to eliminate the option of free will. But again, that's you thinking of it from a human term. That's putting the measurement down to you rather than the universe, which all time, which is what the measurement should be. So I think the reason people struggle with that one is because it's like, well, I don't want everything to be fated or destined or whatever. But it's like, it's not for you, it's for everything.
But also, there's no way of controlling that anyway.
Yeah.
Or knowing.
Yeah, there isn't. Not now. Not yet, anyway.
It's not like you've looked forward and go, oh, no, I don't want that.
Exactly, yeah. But what this does do, the theory of time travel in that sense does do, is it eliminates that eternalism and presentism. It only really leaves the linear line, because what it will mean is that the past can't be affected until the time machine is created, which means everything in the past is past. We are moving on a linear line, but once it's created, then you can go back and change the past. So does that make sense?
Yeah, because technically you could invent the time machine and then in a week's time go back and destroy the time machine.
Right. And the reason...
But you can't go past that because you haven't invented the time machine.
But the reason we haven't experienced it yet is because we haven't reached that point in time yet.
Yes.
But that means this can all change because it's happening in a linear arrow of time movement.
So there could be at some point on this timeline a time machine is created.
Yeah. Because it's that reality of time.
I mean, it sounds wild, but I think it only sounds wild because it's been such a topic of sci-fi and all that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
And I do think the biggest thing is that you can only understand it by a human condition rather than bigger. Because if you think of time travel from a bigger point of view rather than just how it affects humans, then you're not going to view that whole mortality aspect of it. But what about the job I've had and the house I've built and my future and my destiny and blah, 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 blah? It's not about you. In the same way, when you die, if the bacteria living on you now needs your living organism to die, when you die, just say that the bacteria was like, why has he died? What did we do wrong? Or if a bird in a tree, you cut the tree down, and the bird's like, why have I cut my tree down? What did I do wrong? It's not happening to the bird. It's happening to the tree.
I see.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's not happening to the bacteria.
It's profound.
It's happening to you.
Fuck me.
So
I feel like I'm stoned.
I mean, I might have been stoned when I
imagine I've never smoked weed, but I imagine this is what it feels like.
a little bit. But yeah, so I think ultimately, I think the biggest thing of this is taking lessons in not perceiving yourself as the center of the universe, I guess. If there's a lesson to be taken from it.
That was a very complicated way of saying that.
Yeah, it was. But no, because I
mean, you could have just said, stop being a selfish prick.
I mean, yeah, but it's not just about that. It's about, I'm fascinated by time. I'm obsessed with time. I spend and the thing is, honestly, when I say I don't make notes normally, that is genuinely the reason why. Because I feel like if I make notes, I'm going to try and think about
just repeat it. What
too practical?
Yeah,
it's too practical a way to consider something that isn't practical. Which is why I try not to write it down. But the problem is then I forget. And I have to keep reminding myself and rewatching things and going, oh yeah, I remember that bit now. I remember that bit now. To the point where eventually, in about 20 years, I'm going to work it all out. I'll be the guy who invented time travel.
Do you remember when we spent 25 minutes talking about pissing in the bath?
Yes.
Just putting that out there.
I'm just saying that our podcast covers a wide variety. So if you're like, check this podcast out, and they're like, what's it about? Well, one episode they spent 20 minutes talking about pissing in the bath, and the week after they spent 27 minutes talking about time travel.
What's it not about?
What's it not about?
If you could time travel, or yes, if it was a thing.
Oh, where would I go?
Well, you're not even that. Like, say if it depends which route we go down. Okay. So if we go down the scientific route,
scientific, my favourite route that is.
Spell that one. And we only go from, say, it was invented today, which is a bit of a boring, really. If it was invented today, you could only go back to today.
Okay, let's just say you discovered an element, which means you could time travel without having to create something to time travel. So that leaves open all the time.
Did we ask this? I'm sure we've asked this question before.
Well, you know what? Stop referencing it.
Sorry.
Just go forward.
Go back to the previous podcast and see if I give the same answer.
Yeah.
Bit of homework for you. I think...
Oh, we talked about this with Rob in episode 17, and I said I'd go back to the pyramids 4 months in. Because I said day 5.
Oh, yes, you did, didn't you?
They're just digging the trenches, aren't they?
That's right.
Foundations.
I'm pretty sure I said I'd go back to see the dinosaurs.
Yes,
I think. But I just think it'd be cool. Do you not think it'd be cool to go to the dinosaurs?
Yeah, it's kind of
I get there's all historic moments.
The thing is, I feel like going to no one's disputing dinosaurs. Well, some people are. Some people think that they bury bones there.
People still,
and it's not real.
People think that dinosaurs are made up.
Y'all shouldn't breed.
Yeah,
just straight up.
They're the same.
They don't wear masks.
They're the same flat earthers.
They think the world is flat. Yeah, those people are fun.
I don't believe dinosaurs existed. How?
I don't know. I can't. Because the thing is, it's always like, why don't you believe it? Oh, because I watched this thing on YouTube. Of course you did.
So what are they now? Just big dogs?
Yeah, big dogs. That's what dinosaurs. No.
Yeah, well, dogs were bigger back then.
No, there was a guy we were going to try and get on, and he disproved argument about dinosaurs, because a lot of people say you only find a jawbone and then assume the whole dinosaur. But he's like, no, actually, like there was like 2 bones missing. Other than that, we had the entire dinosaur.
Yes, we did try and get him on, but he's not very well. Yeah, so hopefully he'll come on in the future.
Yeah, we haven't reached out. We were going to reach out. I got really excited by it. Sent you the link, and then
found a GoFundMe page.
Yeah, so it was like probably not the right time to be like, hey, bro. Yeah,
we swerved that a little bit,
but we haven't mentioned who he is yet either. So
no,
it's fine.
We'll get it. We'll get him on. He's a dinosaur. Well, he's a dinosaur expert, and he's also like a conspiracy.
He's just an awesome guy.
Yeah, he's just
a rad fucking human being.
But we'll try and get him on.
You wanted to talk about end of the world scenarios, wasn't it? And we were like, we'll get him on for that, and about dinosaurs and all sorts. Yeah.
Yes.
But no, I agree with what you're saying. With dinosaurs would be rad, but I feel like dinosaurs would also be like going to a zoo. It's like I can see them, but I'm also now petrified I'm going to die.
There is that as well.
You know what I mean?
The whole death scenario, like you're not going to be able to go and stroke one.
Yeah, 100. Well,
it's a fucking dinosaur.
You could brontosauruses, but they'll probably stamp on you by accident.
That's what I mean.
Because they're fucking huge.
They're big. So you might tickle its toe a little bit.
Tickle its toe.
And it'll be like, oh, what's that? Boot you, and you end up in fucking Narnia.
And the thing is, beyond seeing a dinosaur, what else are you doing? That's why I'm against the dinosaur thing.
Dinosaurs are pretty impressive.
If it was Limitless, I can go anywhere. Dinosaurs are in my top 10. But if I had like 3 trips,
So we're now talking Doctor Who level
I've never seen Doctor Who.
time travel.
I've never seen Doctor Who. Is that limited?
He's got a fucking TARDIS.
Yeah, but can that not go anywhere?
Yes.
At any time?
Yes.
As many times as he wants?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so in that case...
Different planets.
Oh, really?
Anywhere he wants.
Okay. I'll go to
He just types it in the computer, pulls 17 different levers every episode. He just opens the door and he's there.
Isn't Doctor Who a chick now?
Yes.
Did you ever
Jodie.
Do you watch it?
Yes.
I never had you down as a Doctor Who fan.
I only started watching it when David Tennant done it.
Oh, okay.
And it was pretty cool. And then
I think I watched it when I was like 10.
I went back and watched the Christopher Eccleston ones.
Oh, he was up for 1 season, wasn't he, or something?
He weren't long. And then Matt.
Oh, the dude with the black hair.
Yes.
He looks a bit weird.
Yes, he done it, and that was really good.
Yeah.
With Billy Piper, that was pretty good. And the new one, it's got Bradley Wood. It's got like 7 different main characters in it now. Whereas before it was the Doctor and his sidekick.
Yeah.
That was it. Now the new Doctor, it's like we want to have a girl Doctor, but she can't be on her own.
Right.
No. She's got to have 2 blokes with her
Right.
and another girl and her mum and dad.
But there was a thing.
It's just it's like, fuck me, like, give the girl a chance.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
The only way we can have a woman is
No, we know
by...
they're not great with directions, so we've chucked a couple of blokes in there.
He said that.
It's mad. It's like
That's true with James Bond. There's a lot of uproar about 007 being a woman, and then you find out she's a woman for 6 minutes before she hands it off to the new one. I think. Again, I don't watch.
Oh, in the new one, is that what the crack is?
Apparently, because there's a bit of uproar. It was like a woman. And I think
Isn't it Daniel Craig again?
maybe it's one after that. Then I don't know. I've read a thing. There was a woman who's going to be 007, not James Bond, 007. Because initially there was like a female James Bond, and everyone was like, "How can you have a female James Bond?"
It's because they've reallocated the number.
Right, that's what it was, and then everyone kicked off about it.
So James Bond's still James Bond,
Yes.
but 007 is his
A woman now.
crime reference number.
Yeah,
And that's her.
that's
now.
his login
Yes.
for his files.
Username 007, password 1234.
When Q's like, "Here's a car that can float on water and go up to space and do your laundry for you,"
Yep.
he has to put that code in first for it
I see.
to go. So, right, what was the topic?
Are we done now? Are we done with time travel?
No, yeah, we'll come back to it another time anyway.
It was a bit...
We've gone a bit all over now anyway, so.
I'm back in the room.
Okay.
But I enjoyed it.
I'm glad.
I don't really understand what it was about.
You do?
Or why we talked about it.
Because I wanted to.
Okay.
You know what it is? I think I want to make other people think about it.
Okay.
So that's your homework, if you want homework, is to go think about it, research it, come up with your own theories, let me know.
Time travel or just time in general?
Time in general, because time in general will equate to an answer in time travel. I still don't think time travel can ever exist. Ever. Ever.
I think also the more people that don't believe time is real means it's more acceptable for me and you to keep being late.
This is true as well. Well, time as we understand it is man-made anyway. That's our time is a measurement of time. We measure time in hours, days, months, years, decades, whatever, as a way to be able to utilize it as a tool
To move on in life.
Yeah. So 9 o'clock has a relevance,
Yes.
but 9 o'clock isn't a thing. It's just what we call it. The same way we call that a bottle.
It's just a part of the day.
Yeah. It's just what we utilize.
Well, not even the
for
day,
a couple of-
because the day is also time.
Yep. So it's not, time doesn't exist in that sense. Time is just a measurement.
What if the aliens come down and tell us that we fucked it all up?
But that's the thing, because there's a thing in Arrival, spoiler alert, that they don't work on the same dynamic of time that we do.
Who's this?
In the movie Arrival, did I say that part of it or did I not?
Yeah, you did. Who's they?
Aliens.
I've never seen the film.
Oh. It's a pointless conversation. In the movie Arrival,
You just said they. I was like, what, the
aliens
director? Like
arrive,
right, okay.
hence the word arrival.
Right.
It's got Amy Adams in it and other people who act in films.
Film stars.
Film stars.
Yeah.
Aliens are really fucking cool. They're like big hands, like huge,
Okay.
weird, sucky things. And they speak in almost like hieroglyphics. So they'll leave a picture and they get a vocabulary analyst or language analyst to come in, who's Amy Adams, to work out what they're trying to communicate.
How do they speak in hieroglyphics?
That's how they communicate.
They don't say shapes.
Yeah.
Really?
They'll use ink. So like
So they're not saying it, they're drawing it.
Yeah.
That's not speaking it.
Did I say speak?
Yeah.
Did I say speak?
You said they talk in hieroglyphics.
I mean, if I did, you all know it'll be on screen now.
They communicate with
They
hieroglyphics.
communicate in hieroglyphics.
That makes more sense.
And then you find out at the end, spoiler alert again.
That's like going triangle, circle, square, line through it, dot.
Isn't that like,
Funny dog shape,
isn't that
pyramid.
yeah. But
Going, oh, right, wait, he said pyramid. that means hello. I'm with you.
But that's it. So she figures out what they're trying to say, and then you find out that they work on a different system of time.
Which is what?
Their system.
Okay.
Watch the film.
Is it an old film?
No, about 4 years.
Oh, is
years.
it?
Yeah. It's a good film. Anyway, what was your thing? We're running out of time. We've got 20 minutes left.
It's really fucking. It couldn't be any more almost the same as what you just talked about. What are you laughing at?
I assumed it would be.
It's basically the same conversation about time travel, only it's about Amazon opening a supermarket.
Oh, is this actually what it's about? Yeah, I saw they've opened a store. You explain it. You'll know better.
Amazon Fresh. Amazon have just opened a new store.
I'm already angry.
A convenience store in Ealing. I don't know why it's in Ealing in London.
Yeah.
And there's no checkouts. So you walk in, you get a QR code on your phone when you walk in, and you scan it, and it opens the door.
Oh, okay.
Right, the little barrier. You walk round, you put stuff in your bag, the cameras track what you've took, and you walk back out. That's it. And then you get charged when you get home. There's no checkouts. You don't pay for anything. Nothing. You put the stuff in the bag. The camera watches what you're taking off the shelves, and it charges for you on your app when you get home. It's fucking genius.
That's fucking insane.
It's so clever. You can do your weekly shop in 10 minutes, and you don't have to stand by fucking Karen in the fucking bagging section putting sprouts on the fucking weight thing.
What kind of stuff are they selling there?
Everything. It's like a Tesco Express. It's
Really?
mostly Morrison's. By the looks of it, it's like a Morrison's.
So they sell food in there as well?
It's all food. It's like a Tesco Express. It's a supermarket.
So do you have to go like that to the camera with everything? No. You just load up your trolley and go about your day?
Yep.
There's no checkouts?
Just bags.
Is there any staff there?
Yeah.
To refill,
shelves,
right, okay, yeah.
Giving you help. They've got like an Amazon hub counter in there. So you can
How much do you want to go there?
Oh, massive. So you can put your parcels in and stuff. They sell like Alexa and the Amazon Dots and all that sort of shit.
Fuck Alexa.
All their products.
Do I want Jeff Bezos listening in my house?
Most of it is Amazon branded stuff.
Of course it is.
But it's
Amazon apples now. Amazon bananas.
It's effectively Morrison's
Amazon
stock.
dildos got Jeff Bezos head at the top of it.
It's the same.
Stick him right up you.
But it's by the looks of it, it's mostly Morrison's products rebranded as Amazon stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, it's everything. They've got like a coffee section and fresh bread and everything else, but there's no checkout.
Okay. One argument, pro, I'm starting with pro, is that's good.
Yep.
It's good that you can go in, you haven't got to queue it, you haven't got to do shit like that.
Yep.
Negatives.
Here we go. Go on. I know what you're going to say. Go on.
What am I going to say?
Taking jobs off people.
Taking jobs off people?
No.
How no?
Because there wasn't a shop there in the first place.
That's true.
So they're not taking...
Thing is...
It's not like they've bought Tesco and fucked all the cashiers off.
I wasn't going to say it's taking jobs off people anyway.
What was you going to say?
Because I always go self-checkout.
Okay. What was you going to say?
I feel like it loses the human interaction part of it.
Right. So... Remember... When you're what, 37? 38,
yep.
Right? So when you went to school and you went to the supermarket at 14, 15, 20 years ago, right? What was different then than what is now, bar self-checkout, in terms of the supermarket experience?
Nothing.
Nothing whatsoever. So in 20 years, where's the innovation been in supermarkets?
Self-checkout.
That's it.
That's all I need.
The only difference is you can now serve yourself.
And that eliminates human contact anyway.
You look at the distribution element of it, look at the warehousing element of it in terms of innovation. It's stepped up massively. Like
Agreed.
All the you know what I mean? The picking and packing and the transportation and using battery cars and wagons and all this technology behind the scenes. You go in the door of Asda, nothing's different.
I'm trying to think
Nothing.
how I would react if you told me that Sainsbury's had opened a store in the same vein,
right?
And you just didn't tell me it was Amazon.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because my visceral reaction was fuck Jeff Bezos.
Everybody's first thought is taking jobs off people.
Oh, I don't care about that.
But you're not, because there was never jobs there in the first place.
And again, in the first place, like self-checkout is a thing.
Exactly. It's not like they've gone, right, that Tesco Express now, we're turning it into an Amazon and we're laying 6 people off. That's fair. That's a fair argument.
If it does well, there's still people who, okay, that would be an argument, 100%, yeah.
Because you have...
But even then, taking jobs off people, companies will take jobs off people, robots are going to take over anything.
But it's... And this is the other argument, is they don't... It partly is down for themselves, but it's also down for the consumer's experience.
But are you not creating jobs in the people that have to watch?
The jobs have just moved.
Yeah.
That's all.
So-
but the experience for the customer is 50 times better.
Don't like the idea of being watched though.
But that's the biggest argument currently is it's a surveillance.
It is surveillance. Which I get it's not, but there's
If
also...
people weren't thieving toe rags and they was honest,
They're not though.
they wouldn't need the cameras.
Would you be
so
honest every
effectively, you've
time?
only got yourself to blame.
Yeah, it's all your fault. And the
yeah.
thing is, there will be people who try and manipulate it anyway. Oh, what's that? A £50 gift card and a £100 one. I'll pick up both, decide which one. Oh, I'll put that
The
one
way I
back.
think it works is I'm assuming everything has its specific place. So that packet of crisps is that price and it will only ever go there.
Yeah, I'll get that part of it.
So everything's all matrixed out in terms of not the matrix, but in like a grid pattern.
Right, but this is what I'm saying. Right, just say there's a 100 bottle of whiskey and a 20 pound bottle of whiskey, right? And I picked them both up. Now both are off the shelf, and I'm having a look at them. And I put my £20 bottle of whiskey back where the £100 bottle of whiskey was, and put the £100 bottle of whiskey in my basket. Are they going to now charge me £20? Because visually it looks like I took the £20 one.
I would imagine that they would just zoom into the shelf and see what you
Oh
put
yeah,
there.
that works.
You know what I mean?
Clever bastards.
It's almost like they've thought out
It's almost like that's thought it through.
how to stop people thieving from
yeah.
a store that you don't pay for stuff in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like they've gone, people are going to try and steal.
Yeah, yeah.
How do we stop that?
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks quality.
But then also, is it the cashier stopping you stealing in the first place? Is that the one part of it that's stopping you stealing?
Well, exactly.
It's
not really.
Like, if you want to steal shit, you'll steal shit.
You just walk out with it regardless.
Because the cashier's not seeing you steal it.
People still shop.
But if you steal from Sainsbury's in the fucking produce aisle, the Sandra on checkout ain't going to know.
Even the security guard on the front door ain't stopping
Exactly.
you. But that's his whole job.
So ultimately, theft-wise, it's probably easier to steal from Sainsbury's,
yeah.
where you're not being watched,
But you're not being watched exactly.
than it is
Where there's 6 cameras.
right, yeah, than
Than 66.
Exactly, yeah.
But they're in the States, they've got, because obviously they're bigger stores.
Yeah, yeah.
And they've got smart carts, right? So they're basically shopping trolleys.
With like a scanner on it, or
Way better than that.
Oh, go on.
It's way better than that. We should have done this in their technology special last week. But they have cameras in the trolley, right, that read the barcode after you put stuff in.
to scan it.
Yeah.
What I said.
And it goes ding, and it shows up on the trolley
Oh, okay.
what you've got.
Yeah.
Right? And if you take it back out, it goes ding, takes it back off the list. Right? And in the bottom of the trolley, there's a scale. So if you're buying fresh fruit, you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
put it in the bag, and it goes, oh, you've got 6 bananas. Ding, off you go. It's got lights to light up your bag so it can see what you're doing. Fucking so clever. So clever.
Okay, honestly, I've got no argument against any of that.
So clever. And I was so happy when they bought pay at the pump down at that petrol station by me because it's a fucking ball
I
ache.
don't know why. I've got 2 cards and neither of my cards were I can pay at the pump.
'cause
So I
you're
have
old.
to go in. No, I'm a year old or 6
How
months
can
older than
they,
you.
if they work in a cash
It
machine,
doesn't
they'll
work.
work in pay at the
I
pump?
promised you. Come with me. I'll get petrol. I'll show you. It doesn't work.
I think that's due to the lack of funds in your account more
It's
so
not
than...
that because it works inside. If I go in and do contactless, I only ever put £25 petrol in my car at a time as well.
I love the pay at the pump. I love it. I detest people that go to the petrol station and buy a week's fucking shopping.
I only go
whilst parked at the
hate
fucking
that,
pump.
Yeah, I only ever go in and pay. And there's a woman. I always get Sainsbury's petrol.
Oh yeah.
And there's a woman in there who calls me Pirate Pete. I shit you not.
He choked.
And every time I go in there, she's like, "Oh, it's
Does
Pirate."
she go?
She's like, "I prefer that." She goes, "Oh, it's Pirate Pete." How's it going? Can I pay for my petrol, please?
My car doesn't work outside. I have to come in and listen to your bullshit
I don't even
every
say
fucking
that.
time.
So just like, number 10, yes, please.
Yeah, it's not a very pirate number, is it? Just fucking take
Yeah,
my
just
money,
literally
Sandra.
don't talk to me. You know what? If Amazon can do fucking pay, yeah, or just get a better bank. Actually, got a new bank card this week. I'll try that one. That one might work.
I'll show you the video for that. Honestly, the Amazon shit's fucking.
I saw it trending on
so
Twitter.
clever.
I didn't read it because I don't read
It's so
articles. I read
clever.
headlines. But yeah, so I read about it and straight away. It was like fuck Amazon, fuck Jeff. But now you've explained it to me a bit.
It was the shop.
I wouldn't go.
Well, you need an Amazon app for a start.
But
so
I wouldn't
you
go because I refuse to give Amazon any money.
It was an old Monsoon shop that they bought.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like, you know what I mean, they've already gone bust
Monsoon,
anyway.
the clothing store.
Yes,
Or
which Amazon didn't put out of business, just putting that out there.
are they out of business?
Yeah, well, the store's shut.
Right, okay.
I don't know. That one is.
Okay.
But yeah, they've took that over, and they're now selling pizzas and pasties and coffee, and you don't touch anyone.
Again, I just don't. I mean, if every company now went that way 10 years into the future, I'm cool with that. But I'm not giving Amazon money.
I mean, we mentioned the other week about Asda, our local Asda. The amount of self-checkouts in there now has tripled.
Yeah. There's
It's
so
massive.
many in there now.
Just the single basket ones. There must be 20 checkouts in there. They've got rid of all the big long line ones, and they've just got a small shop and a big shop.
I do prefer that 'cause I hate when you've got one or two things in your hand. The person in front of you is doing the weekly shop, which is fine, and they haven't got a self-checkout there.
And you're just stood there like a prick.
And like, I'm always like, if someone's like less than me, I'm like, go ahead of me. And they'll just be like, just watch you. Like, yeah, fuck you. And just beep. Beep.
I went to Morrison's the other day and forgot my bags, and I was that guy
Everyone forgets their bags.
that I put all my
haven't got a
shopping
bag.
on the thing, and then I had to wait for it to finish and then put it all back in the trolley again,
Oh,
rather than
yeah,
just
yeah.
pick 2 bags up.
Yeah.
Fucking hate them people. I was that person. and I could feel people staring at me. I'm like, I'm sorry, I
I
didn't
don't really like
mean
Morrison's.
it.
Morrison's is all right. I don't like. Asda's like my go-to. Asda's my first choice supermarket.
I want an Amazon Fresh in Tamworth.
Not paying.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Fucking hell, free food! Yay!
Yeah.
Not realising that you can't get in without
That
an
was
Amazon
funny.
card, and then
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
all getting £200 worth of shopping, and then going, I didn't pay. Oh fuck, they've took it out of my bank.
Yeah, they've got a PS5 and 50-inch screen TV. Get home. Look what I got.
I'm down. I'm
Did
fully
you
about
see?
that life.
There was a girl who thought she won 194
I read it. Yes.
million. On the
No, it was like 182. I think it was.
82. Thought she won 182. Celebrated like she won 182. Because what it was, she plays online.
Yes.
So we just got her same numbers every week. Money comes out of a bank. She gets a card. We'll get a lottery ticket. Thought she'd won, but it turns out she didn't have enough money in her bank account.
So I've seen 2 different versions of this.
okay.
It might be the one then. I've seen another one where the girl, I've heard that one, where the auto renew didn't work.
Yes.
Because she hadn't got enough money in her bank.
Yeah. She didn't have £2, so she lost 184
And
million.
then another one, whereas the woman forgot to put the ticket on because she got busy at university, forgot to buy the ticket. Her boyfriend realised it was her numbers. Seen all her numbers come out, thought he was rolling in the money, then realised that she hadn't put the ticket on. Devastated.
Same people.
I don't know.
Right, okay.
I don't know. And apparently the first one, this is a bit that made me laugh. Camelot apparently heard about it.
Yeah.
And their response was, thanks for playing. Good luck in future draws. That was it.
But what are they going to do? They're not going to
Oh,
say,
you normally do. Yeah, we'll give it you anyway.
yeah, we'll give you 100,
Yeah,
nearly
don't worry about
200
it.
million.
Don't worry about it. We believe you.
Yeah.
We believe you.
But imagine if you were like 5p short with your bank and they were like, well, we're not putting it on because
Do you think that, how long, seriously, I mean, that could proper fuck your head up, couldn't it?
for good, for life, that's it.
Do you reckon?
You're done. You're done.
I mean, you never had it in the first place.
Yeah, but you should have. You thought you did.
But you've also not got it now
Yeah.
when you could have had.
Imagine if you won the lottery and then you lost the ticket.
Yeah, but that's fair enough because you did win it. Now you haven't.
But she thought she won it.
But she never did in the first place,
Right,
technically.
agreed. But because of...
If you hold your ticket and it blows away, you had it, now you don't.
Yeah.
If you never had that ticket in the first place, it was just... Like, I think that I've won the lottery every week.
You pay the lottery?
No, but also when I do, when's the draw? Like on a Sunday or something, whenever it is, Friday.
Fridays, Euros, Saturdays and Wednesdays.
Yeah,
regular
so
one.
I'd play Euros because it's a bigger number, obviously. I won't check my numbers till like Wednesday because for them 3 days, in my head, I'm a millionaire.
Did you spend it all as well?
Oh, easy.
Yeah, I do that.
Easy. But I know the minute I check,
You've lost.
then it's game over.
I'm like that. That comes into time, actually. So as long as you don't make a choice, all potential outcomes are possible.
That's what I'm saying.
So... yeah,
Until I check and it confirms I haven't won, potentially I'm a
I'm
millionaire.
like that. But the problem with that is you put things off. So I'm like that with everything. With everything. Like, I won't talk to this girl because as long as I don't talk to her, the potential is there for us to get married.
It's true.
You know what I mean? Like, it's
true.
As soon as I talk to her, she's like, get the fuck away from me.
When I'm late for work,
that ever happened. I'm really pretty.
if I'm late for work and I just don't go in, technically I'm not late.
That's true.
So therefore I won't get sacked for being late.
That's true.
I've just had a day off and I'm ill.
Also true.
So if I just put off going to work,
Yeah.
I'm not late Can't get sacked for being late. So I just put it off. I just don't go in. I'm like, technically now, I'm not late. I mean, I've just had it home.
That does work.
You know what I mean?
That's why if I don't play the lottery, I can never...
Eventually you get sacked for absence. It's not the best.
It's not foolproof.
The best life hack,
but that's the same thing. If I don't play the lottery, then I haven't lost the lottery.
Yeah, but you can't dream that you've won it either.
I just didn't win it. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The worst thing would be to like write down numbers and not play it and then have the numbers roll up. But yeah, for that girl, I do think she's fucked up for at least a couple of years.
Have you ever seen these competitions where you can win cars? Like the raffles all over the internet. It seems every fucker's doing a raffle.
No.
And you buy a ticket and you'll get a number and then you have to answer like a bullshit question like what colour is the sky? And then that technically means that it's no longer a raffle, it's a quiz because you answered what is your name correctly.
Yes.
And then you get entered into a prize draw.
Right. Oh, I have seen these things.
And then they pick your number out and you can win a car for like 99p or £1 or whatever.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a scam. Until a friend of mine won a car.
Really?
On Facebook. He won a yellow Evo 9, like 16, 17 grand's worth of car. He put me in touch with this company, this 7 days performance. I'm not advocating them unless they want to give me some free tickets. And I thought, fuck it. I don't drink, I don't smoke. I don't really pay the lottery. And it's way better fucking odds.
Right.
Because you've got like 10,000 tickets. So you've got a 1 in 10,000 chance.
Yeah.
You've got a 1 in 38 million chance of winning the lottery.
Yeah.
It's a lot smaller.
Yeah.
It's a lot cheaper to play. It's
right.
150 or whatever it is.
£2, I think now.
But you've got an infinitely less chance of winning. So I thought, fuck it, I'm going to enter a couple of these competitions. I know it's not a scam. He's won.
Yeah, you got proof that it works.
So I went a bit wild.
Go on.
Entered various competitions.
How many?
A couple of cars. Probably spent about 50 quid on tickets.
Okay.
Didn't win any of them.
Right.
Immediately went back to thinking it was a scam.
because you didn't win.
Because I didn't win.
It's a scam.
Must be a scam.
Can't argue
odds
logic.
Are great. Odds are great. I didn't get the odds in my favour. Fuck this shit. It's bullshit.
It's a scam.
It's a scam.
So
it's
now,
be a scam.
Unless you give us a free car, we're going to tell everyone you're a scam.
Fuck you guys. It's a scam.
What company?
7 Day Performance.
Fuck you.
I still enter the competitions every week though.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, not every week. Depends what car it is.
How do you enter?
Just go online, buy a ticket.
I'm not gonna.
I entered it. There was a green Lamborghini.
Oh.
But now this is another.
Would you fit in a Lamborghini?
Yes. I've tried. This is another conundrum.
Succeeded.
I drove an Aventador.
Okay. Then.
And I fitted in that Aventador. Anyway, it's a Lamborghini joke. You wouldn't get it if you're a peasant. But unless you've ever owned an Aventador, you wouldn't get that joke. It's fine. Don't worry.
You get it, and you haven't owned one.
No, but I've driven one, so already one step ahead of you guys.
I'm on your team. Fuck you. Fuck him.
Remember, this is the 5s. And the 10s are talking.
Oh, yeah.
And the 5s are listening.
I mean, I'm an 11, so.
Whoa.
We'll carry on.
But there was a green Lamborghini Huracan.
Yes.
Or Huracan, depending if you're an American or not. It's spelled Huracan. But it's... anyway. It was green.
Hurricane?
No, because it's Huracan. C-A-N. It's not Hurricane.
Not a hurricane.
It's H-U-R-R.
That joke was wasted on you.
What?
Not a hurricane.
Oh.
It's a hurricane.
Sorry.
Carry on anyway. Yeah.
It was a lime green Lamborghini. Yeah. Or... No, a lime green Lamborghini and £6,000, which I'm assuming is for the insurance. Because people are like, why the fuck would I want to win that if I can't insure it?
Right.
Or 100 grand and the 6 grand on top.
Okay.
Equivalent.
How much is the car worth?
I worked it out that it's pretty close.
Okay.
But one's 100 grand, one's a Lamborghini.
Yeah. What would you go for?
See, I think it all depends on where you are in life, right?
Yeah, if you can afford to have...
I'm pretty happy with my Mondeo.
Are you?
Yes.
Are you?
But...
And
I mean, in many ways, the Mondeo is a way better car than the Lamborghini.
Practically.
I can't get the dogs in my Lamborghini.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll probably struggle to park it.
Yeah.
It's bright green.
And you'd be terrified of parking it anywhere.
Chances are people are going to like throw milkshakes at me and stuff because it's a Lamborghini. You know
and it's a lime green one.
Exactly. Like, look at this flash
Not
brick.
only has he got a Lamborghini, he wants us all to know about it.
It's not like my Mondeo, right? Fuel economy is going to be worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Miles per gallon going to be way down.
Tyres are more expensive.
Yeah.
I'd imagine servicing's quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it does do 200 mile an hour.
And it's a Lamborghini.
And it's a Lamborghini. You could just walk in the pub and drop your Lamborghini key on the table and instantly be a 12. You know what I mean?
G.
Be a 12.
Yeah.
Shush now. The 12's talking because I've got a Lamborghini key.
Yeah.
But it's still a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
And it's effectively cost me 20 quid.
Essentially.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is the problem I had. You could do a lot of things with 100 grand.
Yes.
You can. Right? You can.
Lots and lots.
And ultimately, that car is still going to be worth 100 grand.
No, it won't.
In a year's time. It will, because it's already second hand. So it's already lost the 250 odd grand.
Oh, okay then.
So it's still a 100 grand car in 12 months' time. If I could get it insured for that 6 grand for a year.
Drive it for a year. Then
I
sell
think
it.
so. I think so. I think you'd be fucking crazy. Not because you can.
That's
a year's not a long time.
It isn't at all. Last year's proven that.
If you didn't have 100 grand yesterday, there's nothing that you can do tomorrow with 100 grand that you didn't have yesterday.
True.
You can't just go, now I can go and buy a plane because I've now got 100 grand. I couldn't do it yesterday. I wanted it, but I didn't have the 100 grand.
So I would sell the Lamborghini. No, so I'd take the 100 grand, spend 25 grand on a 68 Camaro, be able to insure it and drive it and still had 75 grand left.
A fucking boring answer. That's why you're only in 11.
Excuse me.
You don't get the same kudos walking in a pub throwing a fucking crusty old Camaro kit on the
crusty
table.
Whoa.
What year?
Whoa.
You're 68. It's going to be a thin, long piece of metal.
No, I'm going to get it changed. I'm going to update it. I'm going to get the inside. Look, what I want is the outside to be a 68 Camaro and the inside to be a Lamborghini.
You're more than 25 grand there, bro.
Yeah, I am. But also, no, I'd still, even if I didn't, even if it still had no power steering and a 4.7 litre fucking, the engine.
But Lamborghini.
I get that.
Lime green.
That's where you lose me. I get wrapped straight away, matte black.
You getting out of a lime green
I'd get a matte black one immediately.
I mean, I look like a fucking prick, but you look fucking next level weird.
I look weird as fuck.
Could you imagine?
No. I mean, I'd have to get lime green clothing.
Have you seen that guy that walks around pointing the cameras in people's faces in supercars? What do you do for a living?
No.
Have you not seen that? No. That's his YouTube channel.
Right, okay.
Anybody, he's done it in Monaco and fucking all sorts. And there was some woman turned up in a burqa at a petrol station. She was in a Lamborghini Huracan, bright orange. And she gets out. No, it was an Aventador, pulls the door down.
I love the Aventador.
Or is it? No, it was a Murcielago, sorry.
Pick a fucking car.
It was a Murcielago. The door came down. She put some petrol in it. She got back in the car. The guy stood there. What do you do for a living? She went, I am my husband's second wife. And she just put the window up.
That's amazing.
That was her answer.
That's the best answer.
She smiled and drove off.
That's the best answer.
I am my husband's second wife.
See, I would literally just be like, I've got a podcast.
And that's it.
And they'd be like, you must be doing really well.
I'm just on Universal Credit. I just won it.
I just won it.
Would you declare it, do you reckon, to Universal Credit?
The
100 grand, I think you'd have to.
You wouldn't have to declare a car. It's like,
that's what I'm saying.
If you brought any car, you wouldn't have to declare.
But if you got the 100 grand in your bank, you would. Already at a disadvantage, not taking the car.
Only if you're on Universal Credit.
Yeah, obviously.
I mean, I'm not on Universal Credit, so it wouldn't really affect me.
Would it be tax-free? The 100 grand?
Oh, no, the 100 grand wouldn't, but the car would. But if you sold the car, would you get taxed on that?
No.
How wouldn't you?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't know enough about tax.
I don't know.
I don't know enough about that side.
Because when I was racing...
Time travel, I'm all in. But stuff that helps you, like tax and shit. No idea.
Buying pizzas.
No idea.
I'm your guy.
Right,
Time travel. This man.
Yeah. Taxes.
When I was racing...
Ask my sister, she's an accountant.
I got a sponsorship deal of 20 grand, right? That was given to me as an individual, which I then built the car with.
Yes.
And went racing.
Is it Doris?
No, this was the Subaru.
Okay.
Nobody gave me 20 grand for Doris. Jesus Christ. And I was told that technically it's classed as an asset, therefore I'd be liable for tax on it. Probably shouldn't be saying this out loud, but I don't know if you look because technically it's an income.
I don't think Inland Revenue are watching our podcast.
Do you know what I mean? I think technically it's classed as an income because after I finished racing, if I spent 20 grand on that car and that car's worth 20 grand, I sell that car once I've finished and I've got 20 grand in the bank. But it was given to me as a sponsorship.
Aren't taxes weird?
Okay, yeah.
No, but like if you think of like, especially like in like the 1600s and stuff, that people would just roll up in your town and be like, right, you got to pay taxes. And you'd be like, fuck, okay.
You'd be like, why? Because you're alive.
Because the king says,
you live in his town.
Yeah.
You've got to pay for the privilege.
You've got to pay for the privilege to live in this country.
But I mean, I get it to an extent because then they distribute it to other things.
But shouldn't we have some say in where tax goes?
Yeah, but could you imagine the pandemonium?
Agreed.
Fuck the police. Don't give them none.
But why?
You know what I mean? Just give it to the nurses.
Well, there's a whole debate now of a 1% pay rise.
I'm not getting into it.
Okay.
I'm not.
That's fine.
I don't want to.
Okay.
Okay, move on.
Move on.
But we're at the end.
We're at the end, so move on to finishing.
But yeah, I think taxes are a bit weird. But
I would still. I'd get the 100 grand, assuming it was 100 grand with no having to pay tax on it or anything like that, or a Lamborghini with no tax on it or anything like that. I know I wouldn't be able to afford day to day to run.
But you wouldn't have to.
A Lamborghini.
You wouldn't. You could drive it once a week. Wouldn't matter.
But I can use 100 grand to change my life.
But you'll still have 100 grand just in 12 months' time, or whenever you decide to sell the car.
But I'm
no.
To drive it 52 times. To drive a car 52 times. Be petrified of other drivers. Petrified parking it. Petrified at the petrol station.
Well, stop being a little pussy bitch, and it won't be a problem.
I would still drive it everywhere, but I understand. You know when people take up 2 parking spaces, I get it. They're too small. Parking spaces are too small.
Especially in Lamborghini.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Lime green one.
Fuck yeah. Like
you know fucking David, his bike was parking next to you and ramming that door into yours.
Absolutely. I've accidentally hit car doors before.
Scumbag.
I said accidentally.
Scumbag.
Have you never done it?
No.
You've never in your life opened your door and hit another car?
I'm very car sympathetic. I am.
But that doesn't help the fact that sometimes a space is too small and you can only park within a certain degree and you have to get out of the car and sometimes you hit a door.
No.
I did it once and the guy...
Don't park that close.
I parked up once, I opened my door, she's at Asda, and the guy stared at me and I was like, sorry bro. And he kept staring at me, I said, I'm sorry. It wasn't hard, it was literally like that, right? And then I got out of the car and I was 6'3" and looked like this and he went... Yeah, it's all right, don't worry about it.
It was already dentist.
But I've had a woman do it to me before as well. She's like, a woman did it to my car 3 times while I was sat in there. And she didn't realise I was sat in there.
They're the best ones.
She was hitting the passenger side door, right? And I was sat on the driver's side. So I was sat on this side. She was opening it. 3 times she hit it. And the first 2, I'm like, fuck's sake. The third time, I put the window down like, do you mind? So I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Just literally just ran in the car.
You were sorry the first time?
Yeah. After that, you just hitting my car.
Let us know in the comments if you would take the 100 grand or the Lambo, please, because it might be a question.
I'll tell you what, I'll do a quiz.
Yes.
We'll do another quiz this week anyway. So would you pick 100 grand or a lime green
Lamborghini Huracan or Huracan?
Huracan. Right. Thank you for tuning in to a weird episode.
Please stick around. Thanks for sticking around if you have. Much appreciated.
Yeah, like I said, go from pissing in the bath to...
It's been a bit of a crazy one.
It has. I like those ones, though.
It's been a crazy ride. We will see you all next week for the Raw Family Special. It might not be Raw Family Special.
It won't be the whole thing.
It will just be part of
I don't care. I don't care enough to make it a whole thing.
But we will start with the Raw Family.
We'll start with the Raw Family, which means we'll probably talk about something else. But yeah,
could be pissing in the bath again. Who knows? Right. Peace out.
Peace.
Bye.
Love.
Love you all.
Drink lots of water and then go and lick everyone.
Lock it in.
Bye.